Hi, welcome back to the Real Country File. It's dry at the moment, but so far we have had the 3.5 mil more rain than last September. Anyway, coming up on this episode, Angela visits Tom Pemberton on the coast of Blackpool, basically, and also we visit a young farmer that started an agricultural contracting business in the northwest. First, though, I'd like to thank Origin. You should have a QR code here. Origin Fertilisers for sponsoring this week's episode. They do a wide range of different fertilisers, different products for farms. You can click the link in the description below, or you can scan the QR code. Right, let's get started and go and see what's going on at Tom Pemberton's.
So on this farm we do things a little bit different. We are 270 acres farm. We started about 100 acres probably 6 years ago, and now we're up to 270. It's very exciting. We want to build, we want to grow. We are predominantly a dairy farm. We're milking 170 cattle on this farm, well, with dry cows and stuff. We keep everything, nothing leaves. Obviously we've got the farm shop here. We have the milkshake vending machine. We also do retail round as well. So we have 5 doorstep deliveries that go around, and we have a wholesale round that goes around as well. So we're quite busy on our small farm. Here we've always fought to kind of make the margin and make the end product worth more and try and control the margin. Obviously bulk milk is a struggle. You've just got to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think everyone around you guys will probably know that land's getting more expensive. Even like 10 years ago we couldn't buy land, and now we definitely can't buy land. So we had to find a way to make the value of the end product worth more. And that's what we've done with everything we do here. We're going to show you predominantly the farm and what we do on the farm. We also, on this farm, we've just gone into a share farming agreement on 250 acres, literally the neighbouring fields. So the fields next to ours, we're looking at putting about 350 beef cattle finishes on there. I want to get up to about 500 if we can, but we're trying to pull it back a little bit. The dream was to get big really fast, so we're kind of cutting it back. Okay, so obviously being a dairy farm, the most important thing on a dairy farm is the parlour. So we upgraded this parlour last year, literally just over 12 months old. We've been in it now. Was one of probably the best decisions we made. We were in an 8-side swing over before that. It was good. It did the job. Milk was clean, everything went right. Obviously Red Tractor hated it. If you've ever dealt with Red Tractor, they hate everything that's old. So we put this parlour in, really good, a gear, 14-a-side swing over. My idea was a one-man operation. So one man can easily sort this out. We went to a dip and wipe system, and then we just put the automated brush in for cleaning the cattle as well. And that, I reckon I could put another 2 cows on, maybe another 4 to push if you're really in a rush in the high yielding. Really, really good setup. If you want to go down here, you guys can come in. You can go through here and I'll go down the bottom. So you can see the first thing you'll notice when you walk into here, mats. Mats are really important to me. Cow comfort was the most important thing, because if a cow is comfy on the feet, it's a bit like you. If you've got a good pair of shoes on, you're more likely to walk further, you're more likely to do something, and it encourages them to come in. As cows come in, they get fed to yield, which is really cool for us as well. They're all on collars, so they're all kind of, the computer knows what they're doing. They know how much milk they're producing. They know the activity of them. They know everything that cow is doing, which is really important. For us, before this, 12 months ago, we were just doing it from the eyesight. So Dad used to call it a tomomatic. We don't need robots. We've got me. But it just takes a bit of human error, my error, out of it. It's fantastic. So we're checking the computer all the time just to make sure everything's right. It's scanning information back to there constantly, which is fantastic, and we can see what's doing. Like, the cow fertility has got better in the last 12 months. We put the IQ clusters in at great cost, but the good thing about these clusters is they won't start actually pulsating until you've put the unit on the cow, which is fantastic. And the other thing is, if a cow is milked on one of the quarters, it'll stop sucking on that quarter, so you won't over milk the cow on all the quarters. They have slow quarters sometimes. We've got one that's a really slow cow, but it'll just drop it on all those. It's fantastic in cow comfort. And obviously, we've put the cow brush in as well. That took a bit of getting used to. Puts a bit of cleaner in with him, and it goes on the teats, and it's just a one pass. So it's cleaning the cow as it goes through, and then it is stimulating the cow's teat as well, so it's blowing up. Really, really good bit of kit. It costs a bit to put them in, but it was worth it, I think, We'll find out in the next couple of years how long it lasts, but it's done really well. We've only broken one shell from there. Flies are a nightmare, as you'd expect. This is my pride and joy, this shed, probably, because this is the first thing I properly, hugely invested into the farm. Some of you may know, some of you may not, probably, I don't know. I do YouTube. So the YouTube paid for this shed, and it was amazing. The investment in the shed, the farm really wasn't there. You know, it was a dairy farm. We were pushing on, well, we were treading water probably. And then the YouTube stuff happened. I'm very fortunate to be able to put this up, and it was absolutely class. It was a dream to do it. We made the passageway as big as we could. We went for the easy fix cubicles, which are an absolute dream. I love them. And there was a big thing for me. I don't know if there are some dairy farmers here, but there's a bit of a debate on the plastics. I don't know if they'll survive. You know, they've been in 3-4 years. I don't know how long they are going to survive compared to steel. But you will never see a comfier cow than in plastic. I think it's fantastic. Hopefully, there's a 10-year warranty on them, so hopefully I don't have to use it. I really think they are the dream. We've had no swollen hocks. We've had no swells on the cows on the sides. The mattresses we put in, like, they were comfy as anything. I think at the time it was £250 a stall just for mattresses, just for cubicles, not including concrete, not including labour. It was a lot of money, but it's well worth it. It's done now. So these guys are going to just talk about the diesel tank, what they do, and their diesel tank app. And apparently they know how much diesel I have in here, yep. And it's not even plugged in, so that's impressive. I'll leave it to you.
So it's an impressive bit of technology. So I'm David, I'm from Compass Fuels. Our main aim is just to sell fuel, but we also wanted to make it super, super easy for everyone and take away some of the pains that people have with fuel, essentially. So a fuel monitor ours looks like that. And normally a fuel monitor you'll need to drill into a tank, and it'll be a stem, and it'll just be like measuring any type of fluid. But these, just put a bit of silicone glue, stick it on, job's done, connect it to an app, and you'll see exactly how much fuel you've got. So we set up one of these about 15 minutes before you guys arrived, and we could already see Tom's tank is got 31% level of fuel. So,
surprise.
So after this he's going to place an order. Now that'll send an alert to Tom's farm, or whoever wants managing that, to their farm. It'll send an alert to us as well in case you miss it.
How does it work?
How does it work? So it sends an ultrasonic signal, like a sonar, from the top of your tank to the bottom of your tank, and it'll bounce off the whole thing and tell you how much fuel is left. And it's super accurate. Another really cool thing about this is it detects leaks and theft. So if someone's stealing your fuel, you'll get an alert. If you get a leak in your tank, you'll get an alert. And what's really also great about that is our sister company, Network Environmental, can provide services for tanks.
Yep.
And Compass, which is our main company, can quickly hire a tank out just to get you back on track.
Well, we've seen the cows, we've had a look around the farm, we've seen the parlour, so now we can have a try of the good stuff and enjoy this milkshake. So cheers.
Always a lot going on at the Pembertons. Now let's go and see where Andrew's also been to this week, catching up with a young guy that started an agricultural contracting business.
Is the farming sector in crisis? Is it a bad time to start working in the industry? Well, I'm just about to have a chat to one young man who set himself up in business just recently to see how he's finding starting out in this sector. So I'm sat in the tractor cab with Joe now. So we've got a mowing job on this morning, and it's actually at a burial ground. So yeah, a bit of an unusual setup here, really, isn't it, Joe? So,
Yeah, oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. But so just to give us a bit of a flavour about your background and your setup then. So you're quite a young guy. Can we say how old you are?
When I first started my business, I was 18, and I'm now 19.
Right, okay, yeah. So just over
quite
12
new to
months you've been operational, and you set yourself up as a farm contractor.
Yeah.
So what sort of work are you doing, generally?
So we do mowing works, we do flail and finishing mowing like we're doing now. And then we also do maize and silage ferrying with our own silage trailers. We do agricultural transport as well with low loader work, so we can, like if a customer wants a implement or piece of equipment taking locally and taking a long distance, we can do that for them. Yeah, really, it's a different range of things really. We specialise in anything we can't do, we'll recommend someone else locally, or we'll buy the equipment to make sure we can do it.
So, have you come from a farming background in that case?
No, I actually came from a construction background, so I do also do civil engineering and construction groundworks as well. So I do that as contracting, but mainly the farming side of contracting was what I got into this year, which really helped start the business get going. Really.
Yeah, that's it, absolutely. And so it's a significant investment, isn't it? Because all of the kit and the equipment is a massive amount of cash needed.
Oh, yeah.
So how did you get yourself sort of funded to start with?
So a lot of it was a family business that I was in construction. They already had all their excavators and everything, and then the tractor's theirs, and then I pay a weekly hire fee to use the tractor, and then I saved up and bought my own trailers. So that was the big investment for me really, was buying the trailers, and then hopefully next year I'll be buying another tractor which will be my own then.
And so to get started, how difficult is it to find new customers?
It was definitely, to start off with, it was tricky, because with farmers, once they seem to build a good relationship with a contractor, it's really hard to break that clip then. Because at the end of the day, people want reliability and trust. So you have to earn that really. So it took me, it was the first few quiet months, and then I started getting a bit more mowing work and a bit more. And then this was a major opportunity for me coming and doing the mowing here. Because they also have other land in the local area that I go and mow for them as well.
So tell us a bit more about this site that we're at here then.
So it was opened by a family who saw there was a demand, like a shortage, a demand and need for urn barrels and coffin barrels, because all the local ones within the area were closed due to the amount, like they couldn't capacitate any more customers. So it's really helped, I believe, the environment with all the trees they've planted, and help the local community by giving them a place to bury their loved ones, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And so tell us a bit more about the equipment that you've got here.
So today we're on a John Deere 6215R. It was bought in 2021 by my family, and then I'm hoping next year I'll be able to upgrade to a 250R. I'll have to look at different ways of being able to afford that, because it's a big outlay of money. And then we've got a major finishing mower on the back, which was supplied to us by GR Richardson's. Fantastic customer service of them always. If you're ever stuck, they'll come straight out to you, and then it always leaves a really nice tidy finish on the fields. And then we've got a Sumo 1 ton front weight, just to help keep the balance of the tractor when it's going down the road. Otherwise you can end up with a lot of swaying, and it just isn't as safe as what it is having the front weight on, really.
Yeah, absolutely. So I suppose working as a farm contractor, there's two aspects that you need to manage very carefully. There's the sort of practical side of things, and maintaining your equipment and making sure that you've got the best bits that you're working with, but there's also the actual aspect of running a business, and irrelevant of what sort of industry that you're in, that there's always issues and aspects that are always surprising, or that you don't always expect. So what's been the most tricky thing of actually being self-employed or setting yourself up that you found?
To be fair, I've managed to keep the workload manageable, so I'm able to do it all myself. I'm hoping to keep expanding, and then hopefully get some more people under me later this year or early next year. The only thing that I have found really difficult is insurance. With me being a young person, with it being driving, the insurance is a killer. Really makes it really difficult to work and make any money really. But you just have to push on and keep working harder really.
Well, that's it, because there's not a lot you can do about your age, is there?
No, no, definitely not.
Just something that hopefully is going to get easier as time goes on. And obviously, if there's any insurance companies out there that might want to give any good quotes, then that's always appreciated, I'm sure. So, you must have a fair amount of confidence in the future of the agricultural industry.
Yeah, I think at the minute everyone's finding it quite concerning with different government changes and all of that. But at the end of the day, food's got to be put on the table. You know, people need milk, food every day. It's the one thing you can't go without 3 times a day. So it's always going to be there. It's always going to be a necessity. I think it's definitely going to get harder as the years go on, but you just got to push on really.
So, but yeah, well, I think it sounds like you've certainly got some enthusiasm for the job anyway, and I hope that you do very well and keep getting more and more business, and start getting some staff, and then you might be able to get home a bit earlier than 11 o'clock at night sometimes.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay.
Thanks, Angela, and good luck to Joe on his new business venture. If you're doing something similar, get in touch. We might even be able to give you a little bit of a leg up with what you're doing by featuring on here. It'd be great if we could do that. So yeah, get in contact. Don't forget as well to thank our sponsor, Origin Fertilizers. There's the QR code as well if you want to go and check out what products they've got. That's probably about it for this week. It's looking like I've got a dry week ahead, so we will be on with drilling some wheat and also trying to get the beans in and the rest of the barley. What have you been up to? Have you drilled any wheat yet? Have you drilled anything? Have you still got some harvest left to go? Or maybe you're lifting spuds? Let us know what everyone's up to. Let's see if we can get a picture of what's going on around the country, because it's not just us that read the comments, it's the other watchers that read the comments to see what other people are up to. So let's see if we can get that community going in the comments. Anyway, like I say, that's it for this week, and I'll see you all next time.